my dear health seekers. Inga from Health Origins here, and welcome to Cook Along for Weight Loss show. So today, I'm going to be making such a simple and easy recipe. It's tofu made from a store-bought soy milk. Although, if you have milk that you made yourself, then you can use it. But the only thing I will say with a store-bought milk, make sure that ingredients say just water and soy bean. So you don't want any additives in this. The same as with making the, let me put some light on actually, because it's quite dark. That's better. There you go, you can see that better now. So that's all we're gonna need. We're gonna need 1 liter of soy milk, whole bean soy milk, and then I've got juice of about 1.5 lemons. Because my lemon wasn't very juicy, it was quite very little juice that came out of it. So I've done 1.5 here just to make sure we've got enough. And I've got my induction hob. So all we're gonna need to do, we're gonna need to pour the milk into a pan, and I'm gonna put it on. And it's actually, mine has got a heat milk option, so that'll be the best, obviously. But if yours doesn't have a program, it doesn't matter. Just put it on kind of a medium low, because you don't want it to start sticking to the bottom or anything. And what we need to do is we need to get the milk to a near boiling, so about 80 degrees. So when I'll see it's kind of just about to go boil, we'll take it off heat, and in maybe in a minute we'll start pouring the lemon juice in, because it'll be hot enough. And also, another things you will need for this is some kind of bowl and some kind of either sieve or a colander, and then to strain the whey from the curds, because basically what we will do, we'll curdle the milk, and then we'll separate the curds and the whey with the use of, this is nut milk bag that I've got, but you can use kind of doubled or tripled cotton kind of mesh cheesecloth, something like that. Yeah, so you could use that. Or if you don't have either of these, if you use a clean cotton towel, that also would work too. So let me know, guys, down below when you're watching this, if you have made your own tofu before, or have you actually even tried making your own soy milk before. I had done both, and although I can make soy milk, I tend to just go for a store-bought, because making soy milk takes so much time and effort. By the way, I'm just gonna check that you guys hear me. Yeah, I think you should hear me. So it takes so much time and effort to make your own soy milk, because you need to soak the soybeans, then blend them, then get them in the water and get the milk out. Then you need to cook it for at least, I would say, 40 minutes to an hour to get rid of this beany taste. It's just so much effort for some soy milk, so that's why I prefer just to buy whole bean soy milk in the shop. So yeah, so this is warming up a little bit, and it might take a little while, because I think it's taken its time of heating milk, because you don't want for the milk starting to stick to the bottom of the pan. And you can use a special milk pan, obviously, like the ones that are coated and a non-stick coating as well. So that would work, because our milk pan is quite small, so it wouldn't fit the whole liter. So I'm just using a regular stainless steel pot for this. And it'll be hard for me to show you how the curdles look like, but If you try it, you will see, you know, when it starts curdling. So we're just still warming the milk up, because I think it's kind of heated a little bit and off. Heated a little bit and off. I can hear the induction hob switching on and off, just making sure it's obviously very gentle. And nut milk bag wise, I'll link to you know, a couple of nut milk bags that I've used and they were good as well. So you can have a look. If you haven't got one, you can invest in one. It's just yeah, if you go on, say, Google and Google it, or go Amazon and put in nut milk bag, you know, it'll come up with options. So there's either like cotton cloth, or there's nylon, and I had both. So first I had nylon one, was bigger, and that's what I liked it. It was wider, because this one, because the one I had before, it would have kind of gone over the sides of it, and I liked it because it was quite large and big. Whereas this one, although I like it, it's natural, obviously, materials, but it just quite small opening, so I can't get it over the sides of my bowls. But it's not a big deal. For the amount that of tofu we're gonna get, it's gonna be fine. And we'll see how much it'll work out, but I think from about a liter of milk, you roughly get about, I would say, 400 to 500 grams. Maybe not quite 500. Maybe I would say about 400 grams, 350 of tofu, and the rest is whey. So, like, you know, water and other parts of soy milk that's left behind after the curds kind of curdle up. So yeah, so that's taken a little while. It's I think I'm going to just put it on manual and get that to heat quicker now. So yeah, and I mean, you can get food thermometers, and I've got them somewhere. But literally, you know, just when you see it's nearing boiling, you know, that will be around the kind of 80-85 degrees. So that's good to go. At the minute, this needs to go for a little bit. And while we wait, when I made my own soy milk in the past, it was tasting a little bit beany. So I wonder if you guys made some soy milk yourself at home or from soybeans. Did you get that beany kind of flavor, or did you have to flavor it with something like, say, vanilla, or you know, I don't know, what else did you put? Did you put like some sweeteners like maple syrup or something? But I mean, this store-bought one, although it's just water and beans, for some reason it doesn't taste as beany as when I make it at home myself. So I'm not sure whether it's cooked for longer, because I know the longer you cook the soy milk, then the less beany the flavor becomes. But I'm sure I've cooked it for over an hour one time, and it was still kind of tasting a little bit beany. So not sure actually. You know, you can also get these soy milk machines where you put like dry, or I don't know whether you put it actually dry or do you have to soak. I'm not too sure. Like, you put soybeans on one end, it does its magic, and then slowly the milk starts pouring out after a little bit. So that's pretty amazing. To kind of make your own soy milk with little, you know, or no fuss at all. Just put the beans in, put water in, and then voila, there comes the milk. So you know, if you like your homemade taste of milk, and you prefer making it yourself, then I guess that's a good investment to invest in these soy milk machines. I'm just always intrigued of how, you know, how they make it like that. Seems pretty amazing. So yeah, so now it's looking pretty warm already. I think we're nearing it. Yeah, just making sure, stirring it once in a while to make sure it's not, the milk is not sticking to the bottom of the pan. And basically, once it comes to temperature, what we're going to need to do, we're going to need to pour some of the lemon juice. So I'd say maybe start with 2-3 tablespoons, and see how that goes, because basically, and then we need to do like a figure 8 on it to just kind of distribute it a little bit in the milk, and then we need to leave it for a few minutes for the curdles to curdle up more, and then so let's see. It's kind of getting there, I think. Just trying to think where I had my thermometer. I definitely had my thermometer somewhere. I've got my kind of metal meat thermometer, so perhaps I can just quickly get that while we wait. All right, so this is called meat thermometer, but I mean, obviously we're not using it for any meat, but it's just like a probe thermometer that you could measure inside of your so yeah, so it's going up. It's going past 60. Well, it's kind of nearing 66 now. Yeah. It's kind of 66 at the minute. That's actually quite a good gauge. So I think it needs another couple of minutes, because we want about 80 degrees the temperature of milk. So let's try it. So it's gonna show us now. Doesn't seem to move as it did before. Oh, but I can see there's little tiny bubbles just coming up to the surface. Oh, I think I didn't insert it very well. Right, 71, 77. Yeah, I think it's about 80, guys, because it's going towards 82 now. And I can see little bubbles forming. So I'm going to take it off the heat. Okay. And I'm going to pour half of my lemon juice in it. Try and distribute it a little bit. And then do like a figure 8 to distribute it. I can see some curdles forming a little bit, because you don't want to disturb it too much. You don't want to like frantically mix it too much when you first put it in. And you should see it forming. I think it definitely needs more, because if you see a lot of milky water in between the curds, right, it means it needs more lemon juice. Basically, ideally, the water in between the curds, as you can see, like the curds forming, the water in between the curds should stay clear. So it should kind of, all of the curds should curdle up, and what's left behind is the whey. So I mixed it a little bit. I put actually the whole juice of 1.5 lemons, and we need to leave it now for a couple of minutes to let the curdling up process happening. I'm making sure you can still hear me, guys. So yeah, so if you have any comments or you want to ask me something, you know, put it down below. I'll answer it after the show, guys. Yeah, so it's looking nice, and it smells quite lovely too. I think, you know what, I think I need another lemon. So I'll quickly get another lemon so we can add some more juice, because I can still see there's a little bit of milkiness in between the curds here. It's difficult that I can't show you. I can try and show you. So we'll see if you can see this. So yeah, so it's a little bit sunny for you guys. Let me just show you here. It's not very good view. So yeah, so can you see, like, there's a little bit of curdles, and then there's kind of milky water around it. So basically that means that we need a little bit more juice, because there's still some milk in between that didn't curdle up. So let me get another half of lemon, and I'll be back. So I've got my lemon, so I'm gonna just squeeze another half of juice in there, because I can still tell that it needs a bit more. There we go. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Yeah, now I can see. So what you want to see is, you want to see the water being clear. So I'm gonna try and show you this, guys, if I can get this off. So here, as you mix, you can see the water in between is kind of clear now. See, there's no milkiness around, and that's what you want. So see, for me, it needed 2 lemon juices, or juice from 2 lemons even, if I could talk properly. So yeah, so I think this is pretty much good to go. You could leave it for another minute or so to curdle even more. But as soon as you start seeing clear up, and there's, you know, and that's what you want, and what's remaining is just whey. So it's definitely trial, like, with how much lemon juice. So you better have more prepared, and if you need less, obviously you'll have some left over. But see, I've used 2 lemons on this one. So now, when you see all the curds are clear already, like with the clear water in between, what you want to do, you want to pour it into your nut milk bag or your cheesecloth. Yeah, get all the curds in. And what's going to happen, the water or the whey, it's going to drip through into the bowl underneath. Yeah, and you want to make sure that your bowl is deep enough so that the sieve, when it's sitting in there, I'm just going to move this out. So you want to make sure that this sieve is not sitting in water. You want it to be away from from the water from the whey, have enough space underneath it, and basically what's going to happen, this will drain off all the whey. So what you can do as well, you can just twist this bag. Careful, it's all pretty hot, if you can see this. So you can twist the bag a little bit. That squeezes, some more whey out, but it's best to leave it to drip and cool down. Let's see, I think mine is starting, and that's what I mean. Mine is starting to touch a little bit, so I'm going to just pour some of that water out. Yeah. So you don't want the water touching the bottom, so it can drip out properly. I'm just going to actually pour it all out. There we go. So now we need to leave this to cool down to, obviously, to room temperature first of all. And you can put some kind of a heavy object, so like a jar with water, or like a bowl. Maybe a bowl with water would be good, so that it kind of presses against it. It helps to kind of weigh it down a bit more. So I would keep this out until it cools down to room temperature, and then put it in the fridge to continue kind of dripping out, maybe overnight, and then your tofu is ready to use. So this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Give me a thumbs up if you like this live stream, and if you're new here, welcome, and consider subscribing for more cook along for weight loss shows, or my regular videos that I post every Wednesday. And see you guys the next time.